Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 3, Book 43, number 651. Narrated by Hadith. I saw Allah's apostle coming, or the Prophet came, to the dumps of some people and urinated there while standing. Volume 3, Book 43, number 652. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, while a man was on the way, he found a thorny branch of a tree there on the way and removed it. Allah thanked him for that deed and forgave him. Volume 3, Book 43, number 653. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet judged that 7 cubits should be left as a public way when there was a dispute about the land. Volume 3, Book 43, number 654. Narrated by Abdullah bin Yazid al-Ansari. The Prophet forbade robbery, taking away what belongs to others without their permission, and also forbade mutilation, or maiming, of bodies. Volume 3, Book 43, number 655. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, when an adulterer commits illegal sexual intercourse, then he is not a believer at the time he is doing it, and when a drinker of an alcoholic liquor drinks it, then he is not a believer at the time of drinking it, and when a thief steals, then he is not a believer at the time of stealing. And when a robber robs, and the people look at him, then he is not a believer at the time of doing robbery. Volume 3, Book 43, number 656. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, the hour will not be established until the son of Mary, i.e. Jesus, descends amongst you as a just ruler. He will break the cross, kill the pigs, and abolish the jizya tax. Money will be in abundance so that nobody will accept it as charitable gifts. Volume 3, Book 43, number 657. Narrated by Salama bin al-Aqwa. On the day of Khaybar the Prophet saw fires being lighted. He asked, why are these fires being lighted? The people replied that they were cooking the meat of donkeys. He said, break the pots and throw away their contents. The people said, shall we throw away the contents and wash the pots, rather than break them? He said, wash them. Volume 3, Book 43, number 658. Narrated by Abdullah bin Masud. The Prophet entered Mecca and, at that time, there were 360 idols around the Kaaba. He started stabbing the idols with a stick he had in his hand and reciting, truth, Islam, has come and falsehood, disbelief, has vanished. Volume 3, Book 43, number 659. Narrated by Al-Qasim. Aisha said that she hung a curtain decorated with pictures of animates on a cupboard. The Prophet tore that curtain and she turned it into 2 cushions which remained in the house for the Prophet to sit on. Volume 3, Book 43, number 660. Narrated by Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As. I heard the Prophet saying, whoever is killed while protecting his property, then he is a martyr. Volume 3, Book 43, number 661. Narrated by Anas. While the Prophet was with one of his wives, one of the mothers of the believers, i.e. one of his wives, sent a wooden bowl containing food with a servant. The wife, in whose house he was sitting, stroked the bowl with her hand and broke it. The Prophet collected the shattered pieces and put the food back in it and said, eat. He kept the servant and the bowl till he had eaten the food. Then the Prophet gave another unbroken bowl to the servant and kept the broken one. Volume 3, Book 43, number 662. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle said, there was an Israeli man called Jurayh. While he was praying, his mother came and called him, but he did not respond to her call. He said, to himself, whether he should continue the prayer or reply to his mother. She came to him the second time and called him and said, "O Allah, do not let him die until he sees the faces of prostitutes." Jurayh used to live in a hermitage. A woman said that she would entice Jurayh, so she went to him and presented herself, for an evil act, but he refused. She then went to a shepherd and allowed him to commit an illegal sexual intercourse with her. And later she gave birth to a boy. She alleged that the baby was from Jurayh. The people went to Jurayh and broke down his hermitage, pulled him out of it and abused him. He performed ablution and offered the prayer, then he went to the male, baby, and asked him, "O boy, who is your father?" The baby replied that his father was the shepherd. The people said that they would build for him a hermitage of gold, but Jurayh asked him to make it of mud only.